DJ, let the music flow. So, boy! No, where are the soldiers? So, boy! Tomorrow by this time, DJ. Tomorrow by this time. Let me see your hands up. Your hands up. Like this. Wave it. No, where are the Zeus? Where are the Zas? Wave it. Let me see your flag. Wave it. Wave it. Come on. If you believe that tomorrow by this time God will make a way, let me see your flag. Say yeah. And when it seems to me no man, the Lord will take my life. He will take my life. The Lord will take my life. He will take my life. Let me share something. So come on. The Lord will take my life. You take my life. Take us on time. Come on. You will never. A year by this time, God will change Ghana destiny. Let me see yourself. It's time for worship. Me and you wait for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. A son said, "Wadi on my way suda." Na odi on my way so na ye fi said ya all ye no enye ye kan sem bi kire ye ena ye pamo no be ya suo nsuo asoansa se obeka nyame mu nokura pa dia tie ye ina ye ba beto aba be se abanda da ne aban foforo we dia me kwadwo a me gina han dia me pe John Dramani Mahama na mamu. Thank you. If you believe it, pay down salsa. Pay down salsa. Music flow. Pay down salsa. Hey, John Dramani Mahama. Oh my goodness, show Sapra. The fire compost assassin. Fire bitter. Hey, G.A. Pay down salsa. Pay down salsa. Come on, G.A. If you say, oh, yeah, and that's so. Pay down salsa. Oh, yeah, Ghana Siblo. Hey, Thank you so much. Make some noise for Jack a little bit. God bless you, my brother. Cho bye. Cho bye. Hey, hey. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me pleasure now to invite, to address this august gathering, a woman set to make history in this republic, a mother, an academician, and one with a lot of empathy, with a proven track record of performance as Minister of Education in this country. Pumpomo, Yerman Masu Kelepam, Sheliakan Wum, Mamio Dende, 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 Mamio Dende. She is set, inshallah, to be the first Vice President of the Republic of Ghana.
The first Vice President of the Republic of Ghana.
Who is female.
Who is female.
Give it up.
Give it up.
Professor.
Let me hear you shout.
Nana Jeno Bakuajimo.
Professor. Mamio Dende, Mamio Dende, Mamio Dende, Mamio Dende.
The victory of Mahama.
Thank you. Let's get ready to listen to the first female Vice President of the Republic of Ghana in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. And my thanks goes to the chiefs and people of the northern part of our country, especially those in Tamale. You have given us a good welcome, and we are very grateful, as all our members, and even our admirers too. We are very happy and grateful for your presence. Oh, NDC, you do all. You've all done very well. We are very grateful. Thank you so much. So special greetings to the people of Tamale. It's always a joy to be in Tamale. But you know, today I'm here for a special reason. This is the first time I'm addressing our launch. And again, I'm very grateful for it. We, as a country, we know we are in a crisis. We know things are not working. We know that whether we are unable to pay our debts, whether our currency is depreciating, whether we are having a haircut. And let me explain. The haircut has affected our pensioners, but the haircut has also affected the quality of our education. Our education has also received a haircut. So has the haircut affected the quality of our health care. It has also affected even the quality of our roads and the quality of our businesses. So this is very, very serious. Whether it is about the cost of living, whether it is about our businesses collapsing, whether it is about unemployment, whether it is about our children not having nutritious meals because we can no longer afford them. Ladies and gentlemen, whether all these things are happening, we know that they affect everyone without discrimination. But we also know that they affect women more than men. Is that true or not? Where are the women? Are they here? You are here. So you know what I'm talking about. You know that when there's just one mushroom left, you have to turn it into a palatable meal for everyone to enjoy. You know when the children are sick, go to any hospital and see those who bring the patients. It's a woman who do so. When a family member is ill, it's always a woman who stays by the patients. So when things are not working, we feel it more. However, we are also the ones who don't earn that much. We are also the ones who don't generally stay in school for that long. So what should happen? What should His Excellency John Dramani Mahama do? He has thought very long and hard about this problem. He has been in government before. He has handled this country before. He might not have been perfect, but we all know that he did the best he could. He did the best he could by everyone. And this is the time I want to thank the entire northern section of our country for giving the NDC, for giving Ghana a person who prioritizes truth over lies. A person who doesn't give false promises. A capable, highly competent, truthful, respectful leader in the person of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We have tried him. We have tried him. He has been off the radar. He has reflected on what is going on. And he's coming with new policies. And those who make comparisons, you don't compare unlike things. Don't compare his performance and his achievements with what this current government is giving us. It's like comparing cassava to oranges or cassava to lemon. There's no commonality among them. So we are very happy and grateful that His Excellency did not give up on this country, but that he is willing to put himself forth again to rescue this country. And this time, we must all ensure that when he's done the hard work, when all of us have supported in doing the hard work, this country does not return to such a status again. And we are counting on all of you. We are counting on all of us to ensure that we redeem this country, we rescue this country, we stabilize this country, and make us all proud to be Ghanaians. So what did he do? Knowing that it's the women who are suffering so much. He thought long and hard about it. And he came up with a brilliant idea. Ebushafo, Mamreka Nyede. So emanu yezina, mesiafo na wabre, announce them. So what does he want to do? Also, why do you know there are up and down mesiafo mahen busa nere show. Na yerkona yerba, the baby young Harian. No, and then why do women suffer so much? What work do women mostly do in this country? The papa we don't need huge capital. Some will need that, but the vast majority don't. Somebody wants a little money to sell kuli kuli. Somebody wants a little money to bake bread. Somebody wants a little money to set up the store. So what does the person do? The person normally goes to the bank. And what does bank manager say? Bank manager is also under instruction. So we are not angry with him. He's doing his work. So he'll ask the lady, go and bring the papers to your house. We don't have the houses. We don't have property. Go and bring the collateral. Go and bring the documents on your land, the estate houses you have built. Anything to convince me as a bank manager that you can pay. So you go once, you know you'll not go again. Most don't even bother. So what is the solution of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to solve this problem? What he's saying is that he will set up a women's development bank. Are the women here?
Are the women here?
Are we listening? We are the ones who take care of the children. We are the ones who take care of the home. We are the ones who make sure that everybody is at peace. And when there's peace at home, there's peace in the community, there's peace in the country. So this bank is to serve the interest, is to ensure that we can reach as many women as possible. Some need a small amount of money, as I say. So how will this bank operate without a collateral? The bank will operate by looking at the amount of money the woman needs. And we've already targeted 1 million women to benefit.
Hey! 1 million women to be empowered.
And what do they bring? All we are saying is that if it's a small amount and you came for 4,000, 5,000, you bring us back just the 4,500, 5,000. Don't bring any interest. Because a lot of the women are forced to go to loan sharks, and if you go to them, they give you 2,000. They tell you bring 2,000 more. Now what is that woman going to sell to make that kind of profit just to pay? So some will go into hiding, all kinds of indignities that we know women don't need. What women need is help. We want to be able to take care of our responsibilities in the family. We don't always have to become a burden. And now that businesses are collapsing, and our husbands who don't have jobs, our brothers don't have jobs, what are we going to do? You go to your brother's house too often, you start even having problems with your sister-in-law. Listen, there are problems we face, real ones, that nobody has tried to help us with until His Excellency John Dramani Mahama came on board and is thinking about this to ensure that we can also have our peace of mind and we can also support our families and be up to the responsibilities that we face. And I want to assure the guys, the men, where are the men? Are the men here? You are also here.
Hey! Hey!
We want to thank you for all the support you've given us. But what we're saying is that we don't want all the burden to fall on you alone. We want to make sure that we can also help. And you know, when you think of women's businesses, our businesses we don't have a lot of profit. If I'm just selling a few items in the market, I'm just interested in making enough profit to feed my children. So if she can take a bit of that burden, I'm sure the men will also be happy. Won't you be happy? Will you be happy or not? You know you will be. And so we are counting on your support too, to help us to push this agenda, to ensure that your sisters, your wives, whoever,
thank you,
women in your family also become independent. There are times when your journey or your profession takes you far away from home, and you may not be paid 3 months or so before, but then before what should the children do? And the woman is with them. So you see, this is something that cuts both ways. It helps everybody, and we know you are already with us. What we want you to do is to spread the gospel, to tell the good news to other people. This is a serious matter. It is not a gender war. Far from it. It is rather about raising the value of the businesses that women make, making them resilient enough to withstand. In Sebusiafo, Asamno Itetia, Emesiafo Yebre, Obia Rebrebi, Nayan Yembre, or Morte. Dama bohen po de Yembre Mesiafo, or Morte. In Sobia baby. Oh, ya wamehen Posia Kakra, on Quachi, or Hana Washu. If the Women's Development Bank will do more than simply disburse money, will also give the training that allows the businesses to stand, that allows the businesses to thrive. You need business advice, you come. There are fellow women who have been through it who can share their experiences with you. You need a bank manager, you need people on the board who really understand our problems to be able to proffer the proper advice. Insia Kandama, Tamalefo, Yadawanasi. Tamale Kaula. Yadawanasi, Salam Aleikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you, mommy. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Jane Opoku-Achiman. Thank you. We have the legend, Balazaku Nana Dodankwa, Pabo Kora, Yalam Kutota, Mana Kutota, Kwamitatai, Nedenso, Demetemoso, Balazaku.
Mr. DJ, Samanwele.
Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see your hands in the
Yalan kutoda, zan kutoda, mana kutoda, bara kutoda, kumbilma, yalan so, yalan so, tarumar yilma, yalan so, yalan so, rikesla, sirata yana, sirayish, sana lojuwanta, yalan so.
Thank you. That is Balazako.
Yeah.
Make some noise for Balazako. Thank you.
Tanamala yil palle. Yilman and Yeza palle, Dindakani. And another freestyle pilla. Ki Salatuma. Umboria Saloma Zasale. Isaje. Yama bana la jamatu. Ya salam alaikum. Zuwa jamaniya. Kuchira yo jamaniya. Zuwa. Lumiya tublin sakarinyasa. Samiya karinyasa. 2024. GHOne Mahama kano fatebay 2024 Mahama kano fatebay 2024 Jimalana 2024 Fateza kutoda Yelon kutoda De palma kon la dadibu Te shukur fisila
Thank you.
Zaku.
Joboy. Oh, the man we are all waiting for. Our only hope, our father is about to address us. But before he comes, Joboy, we are going to church again and we are thanking the Lord. Make some noise for joy's blessing. Our trust is in God. He is giving us victory. He is rescuing us from oppression. Joboy. Mr. DJ, let the music flow.
Peja frog na me hadi Peja Kosrosa. Peja, are you ready for victory? Are you ready? Baby who sawa Rosa. Peja, are you ready? Yanko. Okay. DJ. Sorry repeat BM. Maintain your money waha. I feel ready for more young Kurumitiene pa. Why are you ready for Kurumitiena? Say, open me say, I'm Miss my way. Quacatra, my town for the set. Hey, Miss don't be upset. Are you ready? Peja Kosro Tani and He is changing the life and giving the victory.
Thank you so much for the blessing this evening. Well, we are coming to the climax. And, hey, when you come to Northern Region and you talk of politics in the current Northern Region, there's one Gangdu. Ayazu, there is one Gangdu. There is one political maestro. There is one who has served his party as a youth organizer before. He's also served his party and currently is the longest serving member of parliament in the whole of the Northern Region.
Make some noise!
No size. A true son of the soil, one the GHOne is proud of. One the GHOne is proud of.
Yes!
Simpa Shalingoma, Niyatwa Shangabian de Moritin and Binwale. Now, you take out the Maldwara Bamba, Karikana Northern Region politics follow. Okonyo de Kanigandu. Make some noise for Lawyer Haruna. Honorable Haruna. Honorable Haruna. Lawyer Haruna. Honorable Haruna. Lawyer Haruna. Haruna Idrisu.
Tonana barkano ene. Eyem na tona ne kasula ne nyampalane ne chone worshina zuo ebia iyanga inganga na oni empiso ko fa Ghana mulchi bae kafa Ghana tengbam bae kalyab ga Ghana karatam kalan ga zo katabilce se na tejilma karalabna. Excellency John Dramani Mahama, accompanied by Excellency Lordina Mahama, the fourth President of the Fourth Republic and the First Lady of the Fourth Republic. National Chairman of our great party and General Secretary, National Campaign Manager, Council of Elders present, colleague members of Parliament, colleague parliamentary candidates. My task here is a very simple one, is to introduce that one gentleman of the Republic.
Hey!
That one gentleman of the Republic. The humble giant, John Dramani Mahama. Ayezu, yes, all the Britishma warrior. Yes, all the Britishma warrior. Akbang man prigopolo. Biya ne bawuya, biya ne ba majire. Biya ne bawuya, kawani ula ba majire. And to remind, as National Chairman said, President Nana Akufo-Addo be reminded that the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election is not a coronation. It's an election that John Dramani Mahama will win. And you have no option than to hand over power to him, respecting the sovereign will of the Ghanaian people.
Make some noise, make some noise.
Ayezu. That's all. Nekana nete ye perche so wuyama. Open lure me. Nabe lu abu poraba. John Mahama pun lure me. 2024 election war in northern Ghana. The 5 regions of northern region. John Mahama Queen Lula Bawia Kayer Yoshene Luna. Lion no man.
Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise.
You know, John Dramani Mahama is coming to the presidency with unparalleled rich experience and not experiment. He's been deputy minister, vice president, acting president, and president. He will come to the presidency with a renewed sense of vigor in self-correct to right the wrongs of the past, and in particular the wrongs of Nana Addo Dankwa and Dr. Excellency John Dramani Mahama, woni yan kana tiche ka kokpao de nyetu gogalgala, woni yan kana ka tinye kosong onyu. Excellency John Dramani, woni yan nala. Yesu, nie is also wuyamo. The next president of the Republic of Ghana, inshallah, comes 7th January. Woni yan kana Tamale onda pumpilge shale Gambaga wale Gambaga na kwandure bunkurugu sola wuni yan kana Tamale. Nam Yesu Excellency John Dramani Mahama wuni yan kana kacharpune na bunkurugu kabanye kosong enyu mbo ka banda maashiru ne ban nan kwamti na nam kabna wa ban yekbe yara sola kabana. And Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when he comes to the presidency, we all know what the country is going through. A country in crisis, a nation in crisis, admitted even by Nana Addo Dankwa that is in crisis, is an admission of failure. The Savior is coming. Excellency John Dramani.
Thank you.
He comes to the presidency at a critical stage of our national life to save the country from state capture and to save the country from the existential threat to our democracy and our well-being. He comes to it working on 3 important hallmarks. Compassion. He comes to it with compassion. And he comes to the presidency with judgment. Mali yashile, oye yisu nama.
Hey!
Yo yisu nama.
Hey!
Oye yisu nama.
Hey!
It is now my prime pleasure and singular honor to invite the next president of the Republic.
Wave your flag! Wave your flag!
Wave your hands in the air! Let me see 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 your hands in the air! Wave your flag! Wave your flag!
And may the heavens heal the land.
Let me begin by thanking the Almighty God for protecting and preserving all of us to be able to see this day, and to pray to Him to continue to protect and preserve us so that on 7th December we can exercise our franchise and vote to change the trajectory of our country, Ghana, and make the lives of our people better. On this occasion, I'd like to thank all our supporters, our sympathizers, our foot soldiers, our activists for the strong work that you do to keep our party strong and vibrant. On this occasion, I remember one of our foot soldiers called Wasiu. Wasiu would have been here with us. We call him popularly Aponche. For those of you who are in Asin North, he is the one who, when there was pressure, he took a cement block and raised it and fought for NDC. Today he's not with us. May Allah grant him peaceful rest. Ghana is at an important juncture in its history, and the decision that we make on 7th December is going to reflect on the future of this country. A member of the New Patriotic Party, a friend of mine and a former colleague MP, said, it's not Ghana that needs change. He says it's change that needs Ghana. Change is calling Ghana. And that's Honorable Kennedy Ejapong. Change needs Ghana because in the last Afrobarometer survey, more than 80% of Ghanaians said that our country is going in the wrong direction. And if you are going in the wrong direction, if you are walking or you are driving and you are going in the wrong direction, what do? You change your course. And that is why on 7th December, Ghana must change course. We cannot solve the crisis in which we are with the same people who caused the crisis in the first place. Several years ago, somebody came and said, try me. Monso Menche. The result is what we are seeing today. Today another person has come and he's also saying, try me. And he's saying the same things the one who has helped to put us in this ditch was saying 8 years ago. And what they say is that if after 4 years I don't do well, change me. The youth of this country don't have 4 years to waste. The youth of this country are in a hurry to create the opportunities that will make them live a dignified life. They are not going to try somebody and after 4 years decide whether you should continue. The youth of this country want an experienced hand. They want a safe pair of hands. They want a hand that they have seen do it before to come back and take this country and rescue us from the mess in which we have been dumped by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. My brothers and sisters, it is not going to be easy. The more I look at the figures, the more I look at our situation, it is even worse than what this government is telling us. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And as has been said, one person alone cannot do it. We would need the cooperation of the whole country to be able to lift Ghana back on its feet again. I've been out of government for almost 8 years now. I did my best. I wouldn't say things were perfect, but at least we're making progress. What I can promise you is that I will be truthful to you. I will never tell you lies. I will never tell you things that I can't do. The problem with this country is that our policies are based on the short cycle of winning elections every 4 years. And we are not creating the foundation for this economy to take off. And so, we are not making you promises. I'm promising you that I'll work hard, day and night, to make sure that we reset the fortunes of this country. 4 years of a good leader will make more impact than 8 years of a dishonest leader. It's not about how long you serve. It is about how well you serve. It's not about 8 years or 4 years. It is about hard work. It is about truth. It is about trust. And it is about doing the things that will create a future for our young people. And that is why the NDC is calling on you on 7th December to do your duty to your God and country so that we can turn this nation around. This government is living in an illusion. They are living in a dream world. They are living in a fantasy world. Because if you are not living in an illusion, when people are hungry, how can you tell them they are satisfied? Puma and the Nyale. And the Nyale. Kakum Malma. Kakanti Yalmana and Teria. Then we can feel the pangs of hunger, and yet this government tells us we are satisfied, and that never in Akufo-Addo's government have people gone hungry. Meanwhile, the statistics clearly show that 8 million of our citizens last year in 2023 went 24 hours without food because they couldn't afford to buy food. Meanwhile, the statistics tell us that almost 2 million of our young people are sitting at home. They are not in school, they are not in education, they are not in training, and they are not in employment. They are just sitting at home idle. And most of them are still living in their parents' houses because they don't have an income to be able to start a life of their own. The statistics tell us that unemployment has risen from just above 8% in 2016 to 14.7%. And yet, they say things have never been this better. And they have the audacity to compare themselves to our first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. How can you compare this useless government that has led Ghana into such crisis to the government of Kwame Nkrumah? The statistics again tell us that things are not well with this country. All the statistics. For a government that said it was going to come with an economic wizard, an economic guru, and that is the reason why he was being brought, to stabilize the economy and stabilize the currency. To take the cedi from 4 cedis to 16 cedis and tell us that, clap for us, we've done well. If such a government is not living in an illusion, what else is an illusion? For a government that has taken inflation as far as 54%, and it is currently still above 20%, to tell us that we should clap for them because they've done well. If they are not living in an illusion, then I don't know what an illusion is. But that is the beauty of democracy. It gives us the opportunity every 4 years to make a change. And the time has come for us to make that change. The time has come for us to reset Ghana. And I believe that 4 years is enough to do the reset of Ghana. We will reset this country so that future generations can come and build on that foundation. Our intention is to ameliorate the damage that has been done. We all saw what happened in the banking sector clean-out. The indigenous capital of Ghanaians in our banking sector was wiped away with one very reckless decision. And so today, most of our people who were working in the banking sector for these banks are today unemployed. And I'm sure there are some of them here. Today, some of them are Uber drivers, some are bakers, some are even driving Aboboya and Mahama Kambu. The time has come for us to make a change. And I've said when we come, we will restore for those who unjustifiably had their banking licenses withdrawn, we shall restore their licenses to them. So that we can create more employment for our people. The debt restructuring has given people haircuts, and that's what Nana was talking about. Today, the savings of our middle class has been eroded because of the debt restructuring. Our pensioners, and I'm sure there are some of the pensioners here, your provident fund that you used to buy bonds and other things, in order that when you go on pension, you'll be able to buy your medication and be able to look after yourself. Today, this government has endangered your future. Many might not live long because they cannot afford to buy medicines. And this government does not deserve 1 day longer. But our constitution says they still have 5 months to go. But come December, we must take the decision that will change the trajectory of our country. The world is waiting for a signal. Ghana is waiting for a signal. Investors are all holding on because they want to see what will happen in Ghana. We must take a decision on 7th December that shows the world that we are serious people. And that we know that our country needs a turnaround. And so 7th December, let us all make sure we come out in our numbers and we vote so that we move this government out. Let us not lose hope. Let us have hope. Because I can assure you that the next NDC government is a government that will restore hope and create opportunities for our young people. NDC has the men and the women. And it's not like what the MPP said, we have the men. And we didn't know they were area boys. NDC has capable men and women who are capable of turning our fortunes around. And our first priority is going to be job creation, so that we can create jobs for the teeming youth of this country. And that is why I'm proposing the 24-hour economic policy. The policy is going to be linked with aggressive food production and modernization of our agriculture. And that's why I'm saying in every district we're going to create farmer service centers. We will bring the tractors, the planters, the plows, the seeds, the fertilizer. And if you're a farmer, you must register with the center. And at the beginning of the farming season, we'll give you all the inputs that you need so that you can produce your crops. And when you have sold your crops, you come back and pay for the inputs that you have been given. The 24-hour economy is going to be linked to an accelerated export development program. We're going to create agro-processing zones. And we're going to create a new class of agribusiness people. And so all you young people will be encouraged to go into agro-processing. You can buy the food of the farmers, you can process it, package it nicely, either for domestic consumption or for export. And there's going to be an accelerated export development program, of which I, the president, will be the chairman, to make sure that we increase the exports of Ghana. Ghana has the human resources to turn our nation around. Ghanaians are capable. Ghanaians are capable. They need the right leadership. They need a selfless leadership. And that is why I'm saying that governance is going to be a key platform of the new government. One of the things we will continue is the work Professor Tamale started of reviewing the 1992 Constitution and amending it so that it will be a living document that guides our country into the future. We will continue the constitutional review to amend the various sectors that are holding us back. We know that the vast majority of our people want our district chief executives to be elected so that they can hold them accountable. We will look at the work the Constitutional Review Committee did, and I think that in 4 years we can forge the consensus that will amend the Constitution and make it a better document for us. Another aspect of governance will be to strengthen the institutions. We're going to work with the judiciary. We're going to work with Parliament so that we can strengthen these institutions in order that they can be the bulwark of our democracy. But of course, the most important issue in governance is the fight against corruption and accountability. If you don't want to be accountable, go and do your own business. Whatever you do in your business, nobody is coming to hold you to account because it is your own investment. But if you decide that you want to come into public service, then be prepared to be held accountable. And so I've said it and I'll say it again. For those people who have been involved in scandals and various acts of misappropriation in this government, this MPP government, we shall investigate you and we will let the law take its course. We will hold everybody to account. And if you have abused your public trust, the people of Ghana will exact the sanction that is required. But I serve notice too that our country is at a pivotal point. This is our last opportunity. If you read the Afrobarometer survey, you will find that trust in democracy is at its lowest in our history. And this is our last opportunity to salvage our democracy. So it is not going to be business as usual. For those who wish to serve in the new administration, know that you're coming to serve in an administration of modesty. You're coming to serve in an administration of honesty. You are coming to serve in an administration of hard work. And you are coming to serve in an administration of accountability. And so as we hold the previous government accountable for wrongdoings, if you serve in the Mahama government, the next Mahama government, if you are accused of wrongdoing, you will also be punished and held accountable. Because it is going to be asked, they say in the Akan language, Aba yadibo techino, enwa en yadibo bang. And so if you want to serve in this administration, you must be prepared to be accountable. We are going to launch our manifesto next month, in August. before the end of August. And we're launching it in Central Region. So Central Region, when you go back, start preparing. We're coming to launch the manifesto. And when we launch the manifesto, there are a lot of interesting things there. We will spell out the blueprint that we intend to pursue to change the fortunes of our country. But let me just mention a few, and I think Nana did. Our women are the majority of our population. And our women dominate the commerce, trade, agriculture, agro-processing sectors of our economy. And yet sometimes our mothers and our sisters need just 1,000 Ghana cedis to be able to use as capital for their business, and they are not able to get it. And that is why, as Nana said, we're going to set up a National Women's Bank. It is going to have its branches in the markets, in all the places that women do business. Your bank, your women's bank is going to be there. And it will be responsible for giving you small credit so that you can grow your businesses and be able to look after your families. We know that it is the mothers and the sisters and the women who, when they get a little money, they take it home and look after our children. And so if we empower the women, we're empowering ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to improve the free SHS. We are going to improve the free SHS. We are going to work hard to remove the obnoxious double track system. So that all our children can go to school at the same time and close from school at the same time. We don't want the situation where our children come home and stay home for 4 months before they go back to school. And so we're going to improve the free SHS. We're going to sit with the teachers and the parents and all the stakeholders, and together we will forge an implementation plan that will make the free SHS better. We're going to improve health care. And in our 2020 manifesto, we talked about the introduction of primary health care. When the manifesto is put out, you'll see the provisions that are there for primary health care. We're going to uncap the NHIS. Currently, this government has capped the NHIS and is taking some of the NHIS money into the consolidated fund. And that is why when you go with your NHIS card, the hospitals are reluctant to serve you because they don't refund the claims that they make. So we'll uncap the NHIS so that when you go, you can get good, affordable treatment at our health facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to remove schools under trees. Professor Mill started that program, and we provided good school environment for hundreds of thousands of children. We're going to continue the removal of schools under trees and improve our basic education. For tertiary students, we're going to take a part of your university land. We will sit with your universities, they will carve out a portion of your land. And we're going to work with the private sector to build student hostels so that you will live on campus and not live elsewhere and suffer the danger of traveling to and from home to school. We want our tertiary students to live on campus so that they can stay on campus and learn. There are several instances where students leaving the university and going for accommodation outside the university have either been knocked down by vehicles, attacked by armed robbers, or have found themselves in danger. There are many, many things that we intend to do, but let me just address finally our party. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an election like no other. And if you say you are NDC, then you better get prepared. Everybody is going to volunteer. We're not going to sleep for 48 hours until all the ballots have been counted. None of us is going to sleep for 48 hours until all the ballots have been counted. And I wish to assure all the people of Ghana who intend to vote for the NDC, I can promise you that we will protect every single vote. We have had our issues with the Electoral Commission, but we are prepared to give them the benefit of the doubt. And at the same time, we also must use the instruments that the electoral process affords us to be able to make sure that we police the poll. And that is why we are calling those of you who want to volunteer. Everybody is going to be a party agent on that day. Even if you are not selected as one of the 2 party agents, you are going to be there to make sure that the right thing is done. The Electoral Commission regulations say that at the end of counting, when the pink sheet has been filled, the pink sheet must be pasted on the wall of the polling station. Listen to me carefully. You must all insist that the returning officer must paste 1 copy of the pink sheet on the wall of the polling station. When he has done that, please take your mobile phone and take a picture of the pink sheet, so that tomorrow when somebody changes the pink sheet, we will know that it is a fake pink sheet. Amabia, people TMP ngo, the bela yamanle ne jiri susuni. Ambine teza bola yamanle. Then we go 7 December to the chant P into NDC. Now equally, inshallah, NDC tindi nasara. Iyaye na maza da mata, kuriyan da za mu jefa 7 December yana tsakanin gaskiya da karya. Na sani mu duka na son gaskiya, saboda idan ka zama Christian ka zama musulmi, Quran da Bible duka na nuna muna kaman abinda mu yi duka mu doci gaskiya mu yi aiki. Don shi na sani 7 December kuriyan da za mu jefa nga, za mu jefa na gaskiya ne, za mu jefa na NDC. Na sani inshallah NDC za ta ci nasara a cikin zabi-zabin da za mu yi nga. Minu ya nomu, abatu a yebetu yi, ejina nukre ene entro, yebeyi se nukre nye, entro nye, eno ho abato ne yebetu. Na minim se, esumbia obia asumbia, se Bible se Quran, ni na chere se emre bia yemfa nukre emfa nye juma. Na minim se nyame adawruma nti 7 December abato a yebetu yi, nyame adom nti NDC bedi nkonim ewa abato no. Enyami me oshikini wabafo 7 December eye anokwale ke amalete ni wofe wosumana anokwale ke Kristo fo jibo ke muslimi jibo wofe Bible ke Quran chon wake wako anokwale achu ewo nle ake nyumodromo hewo 7 December NDC ba yenkuni ye tikiemi angbanyu fa Metro Bikeke 7 December konkonwe ankaya antuwere kele kasinteng ne efe bukonko na yantu ange kenyi fene afule kakramo ko fe yo church anye Bible ni Quran benyi na anye fene Sankma anta kasitenshu. I'm so in for the inshallah. 7 December, Konkongwe Ankai and Toere. NDC, Benji Nasara Kumoto. Novinho. Medogwina Mikata. Mauna Irami. Thank you very much. I want to thank the organizers for this good choreography. I also want to thank our traditional leaders who came here to represent the Yana. May God bless you for coming to join us. I want to thank everybody who took time to come here. May God take all of us safely back home. Once we launch this campaign, we are not going to sit. We're going to go from market to market. We're going to go from trotro station to trotro station. We're going to go from house to house. We're going to go from shop to shop. Don't wait till the campaign teams come before you come and follow our convoy. Even when we are not there, you must be working. And so on this occasion, we want you all to go home safely. On this occasion, as the leader and flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, I declare the campaign, NDC campaign for 2024 election duly launched. Thank you very much. Akwenami.
We have a surprise artist for you all.
Fancy gather.
Fancy gather. Are you ready for fancy gather?
It is the NDC's 2024 campaign duly launched at the Jubilee Park in Tamale, the northern regional capital, and has been a day of speeches from the top hierarchy of the NDC. And this is our live coverage of that particular campaign launch all the way at the Jubilee Park in Tamale. And that is what is happening currently. John Dramani Mahama, the leader and flag bearer of the party, has spoken. We also heard from quite a number of dignitaries there, mostly NDC hierarchy, the top hierarchy of the NDC. We had speeches from them and quite instructive. I mean, we heard from General Mosquito, the chairman of the NDC. Quite a number of things that have come up. But John Mahama says the 2024 election, December 7, 2024 elections, is an election between the truth and the lie. So which one would you be going for? And he is urging the electorate to choose the NDC and choose him to steer the course of that nation. Ibrahim Alhassan is here with me. He's been here with me throughout the coverage. And then we'll get your thoughts also on Facebook. So quickly, go on Facebook. Let me know exactly what your thoughts are. We are streaming live there. Also streaming live on YouTube and on X. But let me come to Ibrahim Alhassan. Ibrahim, I mean, we've heard a lot of speeches.
Yes.
I mean, for you, what would be your observation for today?
Well, so speeches from the minority leader, Dr. Kesela Atuforsen. Speeches are from the General Secretary of the party, Fifi Fiavikwete. Speech equally are from the running mate to John Mahama, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. And then Haruna Idrisu. At a point, we felt we were not going to hear from Haruna Idrisu. Because Sami Jemfi had announced, he had asked the crowd whether they had wanted to listen to lawyer Aduna.
Yes. And I'm wondering, I know him to be Haruna. Where's Aduna coming from?
Yes, in the enclave. That's how he's called.
He's called Aduna.
Just like in Kumasi, I'm called Adasa. Yes, Adasa.
Right.
That's Al Hassan. Right. So Aduna in Tamale, of course, lawyer Aduna, as they say. So specifically to Fifi Fiavekwete's speech, he talked about the fact that the MPP has no reason to stay in power.
Yeah.
And that the MPP today is not Kufuor's MPP. It's not a Dubois MPP. It's not MPP of yesteryears. And interestingly, he was calling on supporters of MPP to ensure that the party is rescued. And to him, the only way the party can be rescued is from opposition. So he's calling on the rank and file of MPP to send their own party to opposition, just so they could rescue the party, because the MPP led by Nana Donko Akufo-Addo as president and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as vice president is an MPP that's a pale shadow of itself.
Right.
The MPP of glory days. That's Fifi Kwete's speech, in essence, summing it up. And then I heard Atuforsen talk about, obviously, the economy, because he's been a deputy finance minister before. He talked about the fact that there are people who have said they are not going to vote, and they have not hidden the fact that they won't vote.
Right.
To him, if those people are aware of the level of mess the country is in, the level of mismanagement, the rot in the system, they will change their mind.
Right.
And then head to the voting booth come December 7. And so he basically talked about the challenges with the economy, and the fact that we have overborrowed, the fact that there's little to show for the huge sums of money we got through loans and what have you. That's Atuforsen. Let's spend some time and talk about the speech from Jojo Pareado.
Right, Pablo.
He addressed the youth directly and sounded a caution. When we get to the speech of Johnson Asiedu Nketia, you might want to ask yourself whether they exchange some news. I'm talking about Jojo Pareado and Johnson Asiedu Nketia, because Jojo Pareado talked to the EC directly, that NDC as a party is not asking for favors from the EC. NDC as a party is not asking for favors from the security apparatus. And so just as the NDC doesn't ask for favors come election day from any of the referees and then those who handle the elections, the NDC equally doesn't expect those stakeholders to assist the governing NPP. And if that happens, then the nation can be rest assured that the NDC will mobilize the youth, and those young people will be willing to even sacrifice their lives to ensure that the will of the people is the only thing that holds. Right. So that's from Jojo Parado. Let me just...
and he also gave the assurance that, you know what, we're going to protect every single vote.
Exactly.
And that seems to have run through the various speeches that we've heard today.
Yes.
The assurance, in fact, Joshua Alabi talked about the fact that, you know what, go out and vote.
Yes.
We will protect your vote and make sure that your vote counts.
Yes. And then, of course, Johnson Asiedu Nketia.
Yeah.
For the first time, I heard Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the chairman of the party, General Mosquito, speak not directly to the party and the rank and file of the party, but he chose a number of stakeholders and interest groups that he wanted to address. First, he addressed the president directly, and he said the president has said that he will want to hand over power to his own assistant, and that is the mate. Yes, the mate. Sorry, his own mate, and that's the NPP flag bearer,
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And to him, as far as peaceful coexistence and free and fair elections are concerned, a president shouldn't speak like that. He will assume that the president said it in a jest because he was speaking on a political campaign platform. Sorry. He will want to hear the president walk back on these words. In essence, swallow these words. And that will signal an assurance to the general population that come December 7, nothing untoward will happen. And that if the governing NPP should lose, there will be peaceful transfer of power. He didn't end there. He went to the Peace Council. And in essence told the Peace Council that they should end their keep.
Stick to your name.
Exactly. Show working, right?
Basically.
And so you should at least do something that can convince the country or the nation that you are doing the work that you have been given to do. So don't be admonishing the people who feel they are powerless and that they will be cheated. And here he's talking about the NDC.
NDC, clearly.
That don't be admonishing members of the NDC. They wield no power. In essence, there's an aggressor. And here I'm quoting him. There's an aggressor. And the aggression is against a particular group of people. Instead of admonishing those at the receiving end of the aggression, be bold and address the aggressor directly. In essence, the powers that be.
Right.
Just didn't end there. Went to the Council of State.
Yeah.
And again, indicated that they should be earning their salary. Or the allowances that they are given. I remember Togo Afede at the point, of course, came out to say that's the House of Chiefs, right? But then he was the president of the National House of Chiefs.
Yes.
That the allowances, he didn't take his. Good. So same goes for the members of the Council of State. As for them, when MPs are being given loans to buy vehicles, apart from Parliament, their names are in there as well. They take part of the loans to buy vehicles. Yes.
Interesting.
Those loans were given by Societe Generale. Yes, that's the bank that gave that facility. Right. Good. So with that aside, that the largesse of the office must be worked for. There's a reason why there's a Council of State to offer the President counsel. Yeah. And here I'm quoting Asiedu Nketia again. And that is because a day will come that will have a recalcitrant president. I'm quoting him.
And those were the exact words he used.
He used.
A president that will not listen to advice.
Exactly.
And so you need a Council of State.
Will not gauge the sentiment of the population. And so that's why they exist. To then whisper into the ears of the president that, hey, Nachi, or there's something boiling.
Right.
Like in Nigeria, come August 1. The population says, the youth say they are pouring out on the street.
You're going to say Gen Z more.
Exactly. And this is on the back of what's happened in Kenya. The government is frantically moving heaven and earth to ensure it doesn't happen. Because NSAS is still fresh on everybody's mind in Nigeria. So linking that to Asidi Nketiah's admonishment to the Council of State, that offer advice to the president so the president can gauge the mood of the population, can listen, and then in a way tweak one thing or the other to pacify the youth and then those who are agitating in the country. Aside that, he also addressed the clergy directly, and that it's not just about offering prayers, right? Sometimes you speak about the ills
of society, and the government.
Highlight them, caution, draw attention, just so when things go wrong, you know that at least you did your own.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. So, and then of course spoke to the EC directly as well, all in the name of admonishment, right? And then the security apparatus.
Yes.
Johnson Asidi Nketiah didn't mince words there at all. He actually called for positive defiance. The last time we heard that, there was a fatwa that was placed on the head of GHOne Rawlings against all military installations. He was barred. He was declared a persona non grata at Bema camp, Michel camp, Dumbase, and all military installations, because he had said that there should be positive defiance. Johnson Asidi Nketiah
uses that
years down the line, in fact more than 20 years down the line, is using that line that he's aware, and here I'm quoting him again, of some directives and pressures that are being brought to bear on security couples, order from above. He says they should positively defy all those orders, because tomorrow, when time catches up with you, the one who directed you from the top will not be there. It's between you and your God. And here again, I'm quoting Johnson Asidi Nketiah. And so, to him, all the directives that will come to the security chiefs that they deem to be against their ethics, and then the oath that they swore, they must defy those directives. That's Johnson Asidi Nketiah.
You know, we'll come to the others who also spoke, but let me quickly go on Facebook because we want this to be as interactive as possible. And most of you have been sending your messages on Facebook. So let me quickly go through some. Samson Doji says, watching from Canada, I wish NDC all the best in this coming election. God bless NDC. God bless NDC. And Muhammadu Awal Modibo says, NDC is coming, going to make Ghana better and great. So is it coming or going? Well, above all, coming and going. Okay. Above all, jail them all, he adds. And then Watson Agabus Richardson says, the best political party in West Africa now, the NDC. Suleimana Abdul Kadiri says, imagine Honorable Haruna Idrisu speaking as the minority leader to the good people of Tamale. Interesting times ahead. And then Mair Nuruddin Sain says, the nation builder JDM, the last man standing. Agongo Roger says, Efrafra boy is here watching, and that is my MP. I'm proud of him. Mohammed Mishanu Mutala says, NDC all the way, inshallah. Abdul Latif Abubakar says, JM, the victory leader. Mohammed Mutala comes back to say, inshallah, victory is assured. And there is Togbi Achu Azameti. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready and prepare for the freedom. And then Lydia Alam. Okay, Lydia Alam also says, JM is indeed a chosen leader. Let's all rally for change. Zuzu. And that's on your screens now. You can see them. And then Abdul Latif Christopher Chance Jr. says, JM, father of the nation. Then there is Carl Muda who says, this man is universal. Yakubu Joseph Brooksman says, how many languages did John Mahama speak? Hey, this man. I remember Chi, I remember Ever, I remember Gan, I remember Dagbani, some Dagbani, Hausa,
and Ever.
And okay, so that's like 5. All right. Kuma P. Jr. says, it is finished. The visionary leader, John Dramani Mahama, done. He adds on Facebook. And Justice Kaswa, I saw something, Kaswa. Okay, producer, director, please let me read the Kaswa. Good. Justice Kaswa says, AK, how about Baumia Twaso? Baumia Napo tickets is the best so far. Oh, okay, well, let me click on that so that I can read. Great. Says voting for MPP is a national agenda to move Ghana forward. My regards to Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsin and MC Anita Obo. All right. Justice in Kaswa, thank you. Noreen also says thank you. Kaswa team here, Banini, thank you. Okay. Is that all? All right, cool. So clearly, after Johnson Asidi Nketiah spoke,
yes,
like you rightly said, we did not expect Okay, so we expected Nana Jane to speak,
yes.
and then John Dramani Mahama would speak.
Yes.
But Nana Jane also mounted the podium.
Yes, he spoke. He spoke about Women Development Bank, and that they are targeting over 1 million women.
Right.
Yes, to the bank will then give them loan facilities, in essence, to change their lives. In essence, she also took some dates. Talked about the DDEP,
right,
and the fact that
the haircut has affected
everybody, educational and health sector. Even women.
Right. Yeah. But I want us to have a conversation shortly. We all thought that the commentary on your Kwame Nkrumah would have ended or subsided. But John Mahama resurrected that conversation today. Let's see what he said about that. And let's talk about it shortly.
The audacity to compare themselves to our first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. How can you compare this useless government that has led Ghana into such crisis to the government of Kwame Nkrumah? The statistics again tell us that things are not well with this country. All the statistics. For a government that said it was going to come with an economic wizard, an economic guru, and that is the reason why he was being brought, to stabilize the economy and stabilize the currency. To take the cedi from 4 cedis to 16 cedis and tell us that, clap for us, we've done well. If such a government is not living in an illusion, what else is an illusion?
So John Dramani Mahama there with some rather strong words for the commentary, describing the commentary. He says, how can you compare this useless government? That's what John Mahama says, to the legacy of our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And we'll have a conversation. I want you to go on Facebook now. Let's start a conversation there. Well, let me quickly take you to the Jubilee Park in Tamale, where my colleague Abdul Hanan Adam has been monitoring the entire event. Hanan has joined me. Hanan, what is the mood in Tamale now?
Well, Joshua, the campaign launch, or the official campaign launch for the National Democratic Congress, the main opposition party for election 2024, has officially come to an end, where John Dramani Mahama and other senior party forward address or grace the occasion and address the senior supporters of the party here in the northern region regarding what the next NDC government will do if elected into office in the 2024 poll. And I must tell you that supporters of the party and those who are independent-minded travel from far and near. I must tell you that the 5 northern regions, the Upper East, Upper West, North-East, Savannah region, converge here at the Tamale Jubilee Park, which is in the Tamale Central constituency, where this event took place. The Ghana Ministry was in charge of security, assisted by the party's internal security, to coordinate this particular event. And we had national executives of the party who addressed the gathering, just like our followers or our viewers saw when we carry out the live coverage of the event. And they are leaving now for their various destinations, fulfilled with a message that they've heard. Some of them are very enthused and very clear in their mind that the NDC is returning to power on January 7, 2025. Quite a number of them are here. Let me try as much as possible to engage them to find out what they intend to do when December 7th finally comes. And I have a young lady here who was part of those who were here to listen to the speakers at this particular event. Tell us your name and where you're coming from, and let us understand what message are you taking home as a young Ghanaian. So will you be voting on December 7th? Okay. So what policy are you looking forward to that when John Dramani Mahama, if you vote for him and he becomes president, this should tackle for you?
Right. Hanan, if you can hear me, we can barely hear her. So if it's possible for you to reiterate all that she said, we can barely hear her.
Okay, so Joshua, basically what she's saying is that she heard all that the former president said, and she wants him as a young voter who will be voting for the first time. She's from the Sanago constituency where ABF Hussein is a member of parliament, and she's saying that she wants the former president to tackle the issue of education. And I must tell you that education in the northern region, we still have schools under trees here, we still have students having to sit on the floor to learn. We still have challenges with teacher accommodation among others. And basically that was what she was telling us, that if she votes for him, because she says that she will vote for the NDC, and she wants John Dramani Mahama, if he comes into office, to look into the issue of education for the young people in this particular area. So thank you very much, and we are grateful. So, Joshua, just as you can see, some of the people are traveling back. A lot of people also came from Kintampo. A lot of people came from Techiman in the Bono region. Others came as far as the Ashanti region. And the intention of the party is that when Haruna Idrisu spoke, he said that the party, which is currently having 9 seats in the northern region, as against the MPP's 9 seats, because both parties have 9 seats each out of the total of 18 seats. So Haruna Idrisu, who is considered the governor of the northern region, says that their ambition is that they want to increase their margin from 9 to 14. That is the target or the goal they've set for themselves. And they want to ensure that that actually comes into fruition. And John Dramani Mahama, earlier, as of Tuesday when he was here, he has actually expressed concern regarding the dwindling fortunes of the party in the 5 northern regions. And if you look at the trajectory from 2016 till now, the party has lost significant number of seats. Karaga, which is currently occupied by the finance minister, Dr. Amin Adam, is one of the seats that was very, in touch, or one of the seats that was geared towards the NDC. But unfortunately, they lost it in the 2020 elections. Myong is another seat that is traditionally an NDC seat, and they lost it to the MPP in the 2020 election, currently occupied by Abdulaziz Ayaba, who is the Deputy Minister for Fisheries and Agricultural Development. Then again, they lost the Zabzubu seat, which is also currently occupied by the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. And they are still battling to ensure that in the 2020 election, they are able to sustain the Zabzubu seat, which they lost in 2016, but repossessed it, according to them, in the 2020 election. So if you check the dynamics here in the northern region, from 2016 to 2020, the NDC actually had a dip in their vote. And John Dramani Mahama, from Tuesday when he arrived here, in his interactions and his meetings with key stakeholders in the 5 northern regions, and in the northern region to be precise, he is urging them to be very vigilant at the polling stations. And like some of them have actually emphasized in their commentaries, they do not intend to be complicit at all in this year's polls. They want every single ballot counted, no room for complacency. And that is the word of the flag bearer of the party to all national executives, all regional executives, all constituency and ward coordinators, to ensure that every single vote in these elections is counted and every single vote is protected. Back to you in studios, Joshua.
Thank you so much for the great job on the grounds at the Tamale Jubilee Park, and make sure you get some rest and come back to Accra. Let's do some work here. Thank you so much, Hanan. But let me come back to you, Ibrahim. I mean, John Dramani Mahama talked about a countathon.
Yes.
That after December 7, NDC is not going to sleep for 48 hours, ensuring that every vote is protected. I'll come to that. But let's talk about the dynamics in the north.
Well,
currently, 9 seats to the NDC, 9 seats to the MPP.
Yes.
Haruna Idrisu says, you know what, we want to take these to 14.
Exactly. So
Is it a long shot for the NDC?
yes, for some of the seats, yes. Hanan mentioned Karaga, which is now occupied by a finance minister.
Yeah.
Even when Amin Anta was not a finance minister, we all know what the work he did in the constituency during the primaries. And whoever has been a political watcher in Ghana or has followed the NPP primaries, parliamentary primaries, will understand exactly what I'm talking about as regarding the work he did. And then wins the seat, after which he's made Minister of State at the Finance Ministry.
Yeah.
And now being elevated as
To the substantive minister.
the man in charge of
The coffers.
the exchequer.
Right.
That would be a long shot. Yes, but of course, they say all politics is local. Myong, yes, is one seat that has always been with the NDC. It lost the seat
In 2016.
so it's mounting more like a comeback for that seat this time around. And in fact, it lost the seat in, I think, 2020. 2020.
Right.
Myong, good. So it's more or less like going for that seat again.
Okay.
Yes, that can be within reach. Again, if you look at aside Myong and you look at happenings at Yendi. Yendi, as I mentioned earlier, is a seat that has comfortably been with the MPP. But Madam Abibata, Haji Abibata,
It's in court.
the CEO for Maslow, during the counting of the primaries, there was an incident. The party then decided to say that Farouk Ali Mahama had won. Habibata and her team have not washed their hands off that challenge, right? So that is something that the MPP will have to take a second look at. And that's giving NDC hope that
They can
that might
annex that
equally
seat.
be within reach. But when you come to the Tamale enclave, Tamale North,
Central.
Tamale South, Tamale Central, and then you talk about Sanrugu, ABF
Seni, but he's
is
not
no
going.
longer going.
Right.
But of course, it's safe to say that the Tamale metropolis, the NDC has that well cemented, regardless of the forces that might come. But of course, for the 5, I doubt it. Of course, Haruna, I agree with Hanan when he said that Haruna is like the governor of policies in the enclave.
Right.
At the point, he was controlling about 5 seats, aside the one that he was holding. The Tamale, aside the Tamale South seat, he was controlling Myong, Nanton. The Nanton seat. It's another seat that NDC lost. And they lost, they tried to wrestle it, they couldn't. Even in fact, the one that lost the seat, Murtala Mohammed Ibrahim, had to move from Nanton to Tamale Central. He's now the member of parliament for Tamale Central. Right. So the party has still been trying to wrestle that seat. But Tuferu is the occupant of that seat. Tuferu is the deputy minister. Sadly, that's equally a long shot. And so, yes, I agree that the seats are split evenly in the region between the NDC and MPP. Even John Mahama's vote compared to 2016 in 2020, by way of margin, dipped. But of course, you heard Haruna. And if it's indeed true that he's the governor of the politics in the northern region, and mind you, in 2016, we didn't have Northeast and Savannah carved from the same region. And so it was a whole. After carving, the dynamics have changed. In fact, Savannah is on its own, Northeast is on its own, and then the northern region proper. So it's ambitious.
Quite interesting. Ambitious. And I mean, we're saying earlier in the studio that we cannot have a situation where the NDC will hold such a mammoth event in the northern region. We saw Haruna seated, but from the flow of the program, I mean, for most people who were looking and expecting him to speak, we didn't expect him to speak at the time that he was actually invited to do so. Was that a surprise for you that his job was ostensibly to introduce John Dramani Mahama to the people of the region?
Joshua, the fact is that the removal of Haruna as a minority leader did not go down well with many people, including himself. And many people in the enclave. The way and manner it was done, many people felt Haruna and the others in leadership were slighted. Now, that is ammunition for the opposition. And I was telling you that if Haruna had not spoken, if Haruna had not been given the opportunity to speak, on Monday, the headlines from the other side will have been that Haruna overlooked, Haruna sidestepped, Haruna abandoned in his own backyard, or Haruna insulted in his own backyard. Politically, not giving Haruna the opportunity to speak will have been suicidal. Like Hanan said, and we all agree.
The governor of the area.
He's the longest serving member of parliament from the northern part of the country. Today. And for as long as Haruna says, I want to be in parliament, he will be there.
Comfortably.
No contest whatsoever. Right? Now, you needed that political messaging that regardless of what happened relative to the changes in the leadership of the minority, that is behind the party. And the party is now rallying around the simple and common message of winning power.
Especially when we've not heard much from him.
Exactly.
In the lead up to today.
In the lead up to today, especially on national campaign and party issues. When the campaign team was named, there were stories that were done about the fact that Haruna had been overlooked, compelling the party to respond. And the response was this, that no sitting member of parliament was given a lead role to play in the campaign because they have their own battles they were fighting. And that the party had decided to give them the free hand to prosecute their parliamentary campaigns. And so the only one in there is Ato Forsen, but that's because he's the minority leader. And that's how come Richard Kwasiga had to be appointed as the one in charge of parliamentary campaigns. And so that explanation had to come because there were stories in that regard. And so the time Haruna spoke to me was because he's more or less like the host. It is his region. He's a kingpin, he's a colossus as far as NDC politics in the Northern Enclave is concerned. So let him be the one introducing the flag bearer. But that in itself is equally pregnant for the NDC succession plan tomorrow, which I'm not sure we are talking about today. But tomorrow, that is there. But when he came, of course, before the introduction, indicated that the economy is in tatters, and that even the president and then the vice president, i.e. the NDC, NPP flag bearer, recognize the fact that we are not in a very good place economically. He talks about the fact that the economy has been run aground, and I'm sure that's a message that ran through almost everybody.
Even John Dramani Mahama.
Including Isaac Adongo. Adongo will not give an address without touching on the economy and the fact that there's a need for jobs to be created. And he took a dig at the NPP flag bearer and the promise of credit scoring scheme that will in the end give Ghanaians the opportunity to buy gadgets and pay in installment. Yes, like I mentioned on Star FM, if the NPP flag bearer had ended at payment at installment or in installment,
it would have saved him a lot of trouble.
It is the 1 cedi and the 2 cedi
that is the issue.
That drew the conversation into a different arena. He has justified the comments. In fact, on the political campaign platform, he mentioned that those who are criticizing the credit scoring scheme do so out of ignorance. And that the critics do not pay attention to knowledge when they are criticizing many of his policies. But so Isaac Adongo talked about this and said that John Mahama will not be a tiptoe lane to sell mobile phones and then be asking Ghanaians to pay 1 cedi and 2 cedi. He would rather create jobs that could better equip the youth with the financial wherewithal to be able to buy phones.
And John Mahama reiterated that job creation is top on the agenda of the NDC. Hence the 24-hour economy. Hence the other moves that they are going to deploy to ensure that they bring the economy back on track.
Yes. And aside that, he also talked about 48 hours of no sleep
counting and making sure that every vote is actually, and he gave an indication to the polling station executives, the people who will be manning the polling stations for the NDC, that when you go, the EC says they're going to paste all these pink sheets. Make sure that every single pink sheet is pasted. Photographs are taken, evidence, so that when there are changes, you would clearly be able, because now they've taken cue from the courts that, you know what, the elections are actually won at the polling station. So if you want to have a situation where you're controlling the elections, make sure that you're controlling the polling stations. And that is what will inure to your benefits.
Exactly. And earlier you had played John Mahama on the first president of the land.
Dr.
Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, see, let's take it. The NPP, through its running mates, provided fodder for the opposition.
Okay, you know what? So quickly, this one on Facebook says, GHOne TV, you guys are doing a great big job. Congratulations. But let's all campaign for John Dramani Mahama to win this election on 7 December 2024 to take us from this useless government NPP. That's from California. Okay, the General. California, the General, thank you so much for your message. We keep sticking to our ethos to be very, very impartial. We just present it to you as it is for you to make your inference, but we'll make sure that we give you up-to-the-minute coverage from now till December 7, till the counting is done, the declarations are done. I think you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you choose any other media house, because this is where all the action will be happening starting Monday. A lot of things are going to happen right here. And on Monday, the 30th of the month, we are actually launching our EIB election hub. That's our coverage for the election. In fact, this place is going to be very busy from 6 a.m. on Monday all the way to 11 a.m. And so make sure that you are here, you're joining us, all your family members are also watching. Everybody gets to be a part of it on Monday. But I guess this is how we are going to wrap it all up. Let me take some more messages quickly. Okay. Right. So IB, I mean, in all, from what we've seen today,
expect more of these. Of course, I'm sure NPP will equally respond. As we are in the season, right? And like you mentioned, on Monday, we're launching the election hub, and of course, you know how we did this in 2016. You know how we did this in 2020. We'll do it again, but of course, much more for you than you've ever witnessed. So, like you mentioned, it's a campaign platform. They got the nation listening to them, didn't they? And that is how you get sometimes free mileage politically. So expect all the political parties, especially the major ones, to follow suit. We are told the Manifesto launch is in August.
Yes.
In the central region.
Exactly.
That's the hometown of the running mate to John Dramani Mahama, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Again, the Manifesto launch of the NPP is equally in August. We don't know the venue yet. When they give us the venue, we'll bring it to you as well.
Maybe in the Ashanti region for Napo.
No, they might want to move it too. Maybe they'll go to Northern region.
Yes, I know. Thank you so much for joining us. But stick and stay, because Nadima is here with the news. Nadima, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
It's been a very busy day.
I know. Kudos to you guys. Great job.
Thank you. Great job to you. Take it over now.
All right. Let's bring you news tonight. Now, I am Nadima Omar Uthman. You're welcome back to News Tonight, live on GHOne TV. I am Nadima Omar Uthman. Coming up, the New Democratic Congress officially launches Election 2024 campaign at Jubilee Park in Tamale. John Dramani Mahama weighs in on Dr. Kwame Nkrumah NPP comparison as he describes NPP party as useless. NPP National Communication Director Richard Ahiadba survives near-fatal accident on Kumasi-Accra Road. And in business, Bank of Ghana says despite banking sector growth, credit risk poses threat. Any others coming up? Stay with us. Well, it's been a busy day for the NDC. Let's bring you some more stories on the campaign launch which was held in Tamale. Now, the Opposition National Democratic Congress has officially launched its 2024 general elections campaign in Tamale. The event was attended by hundreds of party supporters clad in party colors. Now, one after the other, members of parliament and parliamentary candidates of the NDC party addressed the gathering.
For us in the north, it is an even more challenging election because for the first time in the history of the Fourth Republic, we have two candidates who are all from the north. These two candidates have a track record of having served as vice presidents before. One served as a vice president of President Evans Atta Mills, and during that period he served as the chairman of the economic management team of this country. In 2010 he produced the best economic growth not only in the history of Ghana but in the whole world, 14% GDP growth in 2010. That was the economic growth that the then chairman of the economic management team of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, delivered to Ghana. The second northern candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who is the economic management team chairman of the NPP government, even though he has been running away from that fact, I served as presidential spokesperson, and I know that the vice president is the chairman of the economic management team of the NPP government. Under his leadership, this country has suffered a near economic collapse. Our banking sector has collapsed, our finances has collapsed, we have become one of the most indebted countries, and poverty has become very ripe. So the challenge that confronts us, the people of the North, is to make a choice between these two people. One that has a track record of collapsing our economy and finances, and one that has a track record of delivering the best economic record that this country has ever experienced.
Still on the NDC, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has expressed dismay over the NPP's comparison of their 8-year governance to that of Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Describing the NPP government as useless, John Dramani Mahama assured Ghanaians that his party, when voted into power on December 7, 2024, will investigate all members of the NPP who have been accused of wrongdoing.
They have the audacity to compare themselves to our first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. How can you compare this useless government that has led Ghana into such crisis to the government of Kwame Nkrumah? The statistics again tell us that things are not well with this country. All the statistics. For a government that said it was going to come with an economic wizard, an economic guru, and that is the reason why he was being brought, to stabilize the economy and stabilize the currency. To take the cedi from 4 cedis to 16 cedis and tell us that, clap for us, we've done well. If such a government is not living in an illusion, what else is an illusion? For a government that has taken inflation as far as 54%, and it is currently still above 20%, to tell us that we should clap for them because they've done well. If they are not living in an illusion, then I don't know what an illusion is. If you decide that you want to come into public service, then be prepared to be held accountable. And so I've said it and I'll say it again. For those people who have been involved in scandals and various acts of misappropriation in this government, this MPP government, we shall investigate you and we will let the law take its course.
Well, the NDC also announced that the party's manifesto will be launched by the end of August in the Central region.
Launch our manifesto next month in August, before the end of August, and we're launching it in Central region. So Central region, when you go back, start preparing. We're coming to launch the manifesto. And when we launch the manifesto, there are a lot of interesting things there. We will spell out the blueprint that we intend to pursue to change the fortunes of our country. But let me just mention a few, and I think Nana did. Our women are the majority of our population. And our women dominate the commerce, trade, agriculture, agro-processing sectors of our economy. And yet sometimes our mothers and our sisters need just 1,000 Ghana cedis to be able to use as capital for their business, and they are not able to get it. And that is why, as Nana said, we're going to set up a National Women's Bank. It is going to have its branches in the markets, in all the places that women do business. Your bank, your women's bank is going to be there. And it will be responsible for giving you small credit so that you can grow your businesses and be able to look after your families. We're going to improve the free SHS. We are going to work hard to remove the obnoxious double track system so that all our children can go to school at the same time and close from school at the same time. This is an election like no other. And if you say you are NDC, then you better get prepared. Everybody is going to volunteer. We're not going to sleep for 48 hours until all the ballots have been counted.
Still on the NDC's campaign launch, which was held in Tamale, the national chairman for the NDC, Johnson Asiedu-Nketia, also espoused the need for chiefs to continue to remain non-partisan as their continuous meddling in politics does not augur well for the country. He also cautioned Ghanaians to take a critical look at the qualities of the leaders they will be voting for in December 7.
We did not insulate your institution from multi-party politics, partisan politics, for no reason. We know why we did that. We knew from our past history, if you allow politicians to meddle up with our holy institutions like the traditional councils and paramountcies, you end up with a situation where the institution will be destroyed. Please, you have a role to play beyond appealing to us for peace. Stand firm and neutral in this context, so that if there is a problem and you invite us to adjudicate, we all trust you and come before you and listen to your advice. chiefs meddle in politics, then there will be a time politicians will meddle in chieftaincy. And we don't want that. That is why we framed the constitution to prevent chiefs from engaging in multi-party or partisan politics. Stay holy, stay clean. We know you are under pressure for Nana Akufo-Addo, who want to compromise every institution in this country. You are our last hope. Stay clean, so that you can protect our democracy. December this year, we are not going to look for a bishop. We are not going to look for an imam. We have those people already. What we are going to look for is a leader who is truthful, who is trustworthy, who has vision, who can lead this country out of the quagmire we are facing. And that leader is President John Mahama.
Thank you.
While the minority leader, Dr. Kasi Atuforsen, says the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government has been a monumental failure and have nothing to show to Ghanaians over the last 8 years. Taking his turn to speak at the NDC's campaign launch in Tamale, the minority leader said no Ghanaian can afford to sit on the fence during this general election as the NPP government continues to plunge the country into an economic disaster.
Our beloved country, Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana is on her knees. Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana is at an all-time low. And all who love this country, and I believe millions of you listening to us, love this beautiful country. Therefore, I want to make a call to you. December 7th, it's not a battle between the NDC and the MPP. No. December 7 is a battle between those who love Ghana and those who do not love Ghana.
Ghana is in trouble. This Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government has been a monumental failure. It has been 8 good years of lies, lies, and more lies. 8 years of impunity and lawlessness. 8 years of recklessness and cruelessness. It has been 8 years of no jobs and joblessness. 8 years of no hope and hopelessness. 8 years of hardship, misery, and ahochere. 8 years of taxes, and more tax. 8 years of borrowing, more borrowing, and in fact, over borrowing. 8 years of illegal printing of money at the Bank of Ghana. 8 years of illegality. 8 years of wastage. 8 years of non-performance. 8 years of poor governance. 8 years of massive uncontrolled corruption. 8 years of state capture, family and friends, and arrogance of power. Ladies and gentlemen, I have heard some Ghanaians say that they are not interested in politics and that they are not going to vote. But let me say, I bet you that you will have a change of mind if you are aware that indeed 11.5 million Ghanaians, representing 33.3% of our people, have been thrown out into extreme poverty.
Away from the NDC campaign launch and to a rather unfortunate development, the National Communications Director of the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ahiadba, has survived a fatal accident which occurred on Friday night at Edua Pompo near Konongo in the Ashanti region. The accident is said to have occurred on the Kumasi-Accra highway while Ahiadba was driving alone. Eyewitness report indicates that Richard's vehicle collided with an articulated truck, severely damaging damaging his vehicle and leaving him with life-threatening injuries. According to Paul Kobnayando, who is the Ashanti Regional Communications Director of the NPP, Ayadba was rushed to Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital for emergency treatment and is currently responding to treatment, although his condition remains critical. An investigation into the accident is also currently underway. In some more local stories, majority of students at the SDA College of Education in Koforidua, Asokore, have abandoned campus due to the protracted strike by the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, that is CTAG. Now, final year students, perhaps the worst affected, are anxiously biting their nails, praying their dissertation supervisors will return and guide them to the finish line.
The industrial action, which began on June 14, is in response to government's refusal to implement CETAG's arbitral award and conditions of service. The situation deteriorated further when the government decided to freeze the July salaries of CETAG members, prompting a complete withdrawal of their services. As a result, SDA College of Education has seen a mass exodus of students. A visit to the campus revealed that only a few students, mostly first-year students, remain. Lecture halls were deserted, with some being utilized by senior high students for their studies. Male students were seen playing volleyball, expressing their indifference to the lecturers' absence, with some even chanting that they are enjoying the break.
First of all, strike in the buy no. From our boy, one so a high because school on more presentation near class near baby and so yeah, but striking so buy no. Yeah, mama who me talent. What I say, can you strike and without a strike and coming to me talent in PDC me keeper. What I say, born here ball, B ball. What I say, first basketball, I mean you good. What I say, but you say no basketball, the buy no. Yeah, but mama who.
Sechi Samson Jr., the SRC president of SDA College of Education, stated that students are stranded on campus.
This strike came about a month and more. We were not expecting this. When we first experienced it, we thought that it would be a 1 week something. But unfortunately, it has extended to about a month and 2 weeks. And even today that we are having council meeting by CTEC, we don't know what will be the outcome of it. My students are stranded. I can say that about 80% of students are home now, which is a problem to us.
Chair Finihas, former SRC organizing secretary, noted that many fourth-year students have been unable to complete their dissertations due to the lack of supervision from their striking lecturers.
Students have left stranded on campuses, and then also we don't have any guidance that will be very crucial to our academic pursuit. So it has really affected us. For 400 students to be precise, they are actually embarking on a project work. And these lecturers are the same lecturers that we're supposed to have a tete-a-tete with them so that we could know what we could do about the project work. But
let's bring you business now. says that the first half of the year performance of the banking sector is indicative of a continued recovery from the domestic debt exchange program. According to the governor of the central bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, total banking sector assets grew by 33.3% to 323.1 billion cedis by the end of June, compared to 21.2% growth at the end of June last year. Speaking during the 119th Monetary Policy Committee meeting, Dr. Addison explained that despite the improvement, elevated credit risk poses a threat to the sector's recovery process.
Total banking sector assets grew by 33.3% to 323.1 billion Ghana cedis at the end of June 2024, relative to 21.2% growth at the end of June 2023. Profitability, liquidity, and efficiency indicators all improved over the period. The capital adequacy ratio adjusted for reliefs remained unchanged at 14.3% between June 2023 and June 2024. Without reliefs, the CAR was reported at 10.6% in June 2024, higher than 7.4% recorded in June 2023. Despite improvements in the banking sector's performance, elevated credit risk poses a threat to the sector's recovery process. The industry's NPL ratio was 24.1% in June 2024, up from 18.7% in June 2023. The consistent rebound in profits, adherence to capitalization plans, and enforcement of strict credit underwriting standards will help ensure that banks remain on the path to full recovery and resilience.
Meanwhile, the central bank has maintained its policy rate of lending to commercial banks at 29%, marking the third consecutive time the Bank of Ghana has held the rate steady. The central bank decision aims to balance economic growth with inflation control in economic landscape.
During its 119th meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee, the Bank of Ghana disclosed that GDP growth for the first quarter of 2024 was stronger than expected. Addressing the media, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, explained that economic activities remained resilient despite a generally tight policy stance. He noted that consumer and business confidence softened, driven by the rapid exchange rate depreciation observed in May and high food prices in June 2024.
Economic activity remained resilient in the context of generally tight policy stance. This is shown by the latest GDP data released by the Ghana Statistical Service and the subsequent upward revision of growth estimates. Similarly, high-frequency indicators of economic activity, which are more recent, suggest stronger growth outcomes.
He emphasized that although inflation is expected to remain within the target range, risks are slightly tilted to the upside, necessitating a strong monetary policy stance supported by robust fiscal consolidation.
On price developments, there is some uncertainty regarding the inflation path for the year, given the recent exchange rate pressures, upward adjustment in utility tariffs, and increases in export fuel prices. The above developments have resulted in a slightly elevated inflation profile for the year. Even though inflation is expected to remain within the target year band, the risks are tilted slightly on the upside. This will require maintaining the strong monetary policy stance, supported by strong fiscal consolidation efforts, including remaining vigilant to ensure that the end-year inflation objectives are achieved. Given these considerations, the committee decided to maintain the policy rate at 29%.
The committee also observed that the Ghanaian cedi came under pressure in the first half of the year, particularly in May 2024, but has since been...
That does it for News Tonight, but there's more news on starfm.com.gh. I am Nadima Umar Uthman. Good evening.